This podcast is proud to be part of the TalkSport Fan Network. TalkSport. Powered by fans.
Get this. Adults with financial literacy skills have 82% more wealth than those who don't. From swimming lessons to piano classes, us parents invest in so many things to enrich our kids' lives. But are we investing in their future financial success? With Greenlight, you can teach your kids financial literacy skills like earning, saving, and investing. And this investment costs less than their after-school treat. Start prioritizing their financial education and future today with a risk-free trial at greenlight.com/listen. greenlight.com/listen.
Yo, UK! At BetMGM, we give our players sports betting entertainment like nobody's business. Football, horse racing, darts, boxing, tennis, golf, NFL, NBA. You name it, we got it. Offers? You know it. Bet £10 and get £40 in free bets. BetMGM, it's showtime.
New customers only. Exclusions apply. 18 plus. Please gamble responsibly.
And welcome to the Tilton Talk Show, sponsored by AMG Logistics, with myself, Paul Hipkiss. And tonight I'm joined by the chairman, Alan Watton.
Good evening, everyone.
Mr. Roadmark Adams.
Good evening, everybody.
One and only Claire Giblin.
Good evening.
Mr. Fixer Craig Courtney.
Good evening, everyone.
The main man, Mark Meredith, from the US.
Good evening.
And the very main man, Mr. Chris Browne. Couldn't say Browne. Mr. Browne.
Good evening.
So a bit of a damp squib in Berkshire on Saturday, and I think 0-0 was probably about fair, although obviously we had the best chance of the game, didn't we, Alan? Did you go, Alan? Did you go to the game?
No, I sat in comfort here. Yes, there were three chances that we should have put away. That one being the most obvious, obviously, but we didn't.
No.
And they never really looked like scoring. One good, decent save by Ryan.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was played on a cabbage patch, wasn't it? I mean, I remember years ago when we went to Peterborough. It was during our promotion season 30 years ago. We went to Peterborough and they did that to us. They completely just marked the pitch out. They didn't roll it. They didn't water it. And we finished up. You know, it was a game that we was in the last 5 or 6 of the season when we needed to win, and we didn't. We drew in the end, but the pitch was deliberately left like that. And I wouldn't be surprised if Reading thought the same thing. You know,
yeah.
don't want them to pass us off the park, and basically you couldn't pass the ball 10 yards without it jumping up or poor.
Yeah, absolutely, and. Claire, I think it's now taking its toll a bit, isn't it? All these games playing in a short space of time now, we're starting to get a few casualties, aren't we?
Yeah, I think echoing really what Alan said, I think the pitch was poor. It was very muddy in places. I think that obviously that's how Wright got his injury. As soon as he did it, I mean, it was the furthest point away, but you could tell. I just think that obviously, how many games have we played in February? 7 so far. We're about to do like 8.
Yeah.
It's a lot for any team, really, playing Saturday, Tuesday, Wednesday, any other day. I think that they actually played quite well. I think that they had a higher intensity than us. I think you could tell that they obviously haven't played as many games as we have.
Yeah.
I do think we missed Stanno up front just for that energy. That closing down. I thought Keshi Anderson was player of the match by a mile.
Yeah.
I thought he was fantastic. We just didn't have that oomph, that final ball, that final pass. We never really looked like we were going to score. Obviously, I know Dykes missed that opportunity, and fair play to him. He apologised to his teammates. It's unfortunate because we all went to cheer and then also Nick rebounded and literally could have just hit it in any corner.
Yeah.
The one criticism I would have, which I don't normally criticise or say anything, but I do think we could have made more subs quicker.
Yeah.
I think we could have made more changes to the team. I think Tuesday night was a battle. And I think that we could have started. We could have started with other players. I'm surprised Alfie May didn't start. But then at the same time, their number 9 was massive. So then Dykes was marking him. And I trust Chris Davis 100%. But I do think we could have saved Keshi, which hopefully hasn't done anything bad with his hamstring because he was holding it near the end. But I'll take a point. I don't know why everybody on social media has had an absolute panic. But a point away from home is a point away from home. To me, it's a point towards promotion. We've got 2 massive games now, which are against the most informed team in the league and second. And at some point, we're hoping that Wrexham will drop points. Wrexham are the ones we need to watch because they're the ones in third and we need to have that gap. But they didn't really have any grass to let grow. So I just think that they just don't look after their pitch. And unfortunately, we didn't have the stamina. I think we're tired. I think we're lacking something. But we roll on to tomorrow and hopefully it makes lots of changes because we need to. Well, we definitely need to now if we've got a side.
I think for me, if he's going to put Dykes in the team, he's played his best football for us in the 10.
100%.
And for me, he should have started with Alfie May in the 9 with Dykes behind him if Dykes was to play. But the number 110 for me in our squad is Willem Williamson, and he brought him off the bench obviously on Saturday and played him on the right, which just frustrates the life out of me. And he stuck with Dowell, who wasn't having the best of games.
Dowell was exhausted. Dowell looked like he was running through treacle. That's how, and it was glaringly obvious. And I'm shocked that half time they didn't take him off.
Yeah.
We were all shocked all of a sudden. He kept playing and playing and playing. So, but he hasn't had a lot of game time at Rangers, so it's going to be a big toll on them as well.
Yeah, 100%. But no, if he went with Dykes, with May playing off him, then that might have worked better for us. But we got out with the point, and no one's happy when we don't win. I'm certainly not. I don't think any football fan's happy with a draw, really, especially at this level for the squad we've got. But we're not going to win every game. So the main thing is if you can't win the game, then don't lose it. And that's what we did. We came away with the 0-0, and it was probably about right, wasn't it, Mark Meredith, on the balance of play over the 90 minutes?
Yeah, I think so. Echoing everything that everybody else has said, poor pitch, tiredness. I think, we got away with it. It's a positive. 16 games now unbeaten. Home game tomorrow, which is one of our games in hand again. So we've got to take those positives first. And, again, with the ever-growing injury list and tiredness, I think we spoke about it briefly last year. And it's funny because as a footballer, the games are as a fan, a footballer, coach, whatever, games are the most important thing, obviously. But when they come too thick and fast, like we've had with, 3 games in a week for the last 3 weeks and the next 3 weeks coming up, it does take a toll. Practice has to, training changes because you can't really do the 100% training anymore with, rest and recoveries and travel. And so, the nice thing about this year that we didn't have last year is a big enough squad to deal with it. I was looking at the fit players that we had today, and I think we still got by far one of the best teams in the league, even with those players. Yeah. They talked about resting Peake tomorrow and bringing in Gardner Hickman, who can do a fantastic job there. We talked about Dowell, obviously, if he rests and Williamson can go in there and do a good job. Dyke's probably injured, you bring May straight back in. So these aren't players that have not played games this season. And it's not like we're having to deal with our youth team again like we were last year. So there's still lots of positives. I think if we can grab a win tomorrow, then we're back another game in hand and we're back to where we were before Saturday's game. So, just keep going and hopefully we will see a couple of those rested tomorrow because they need a well-deserved rest. But I also think that he can put a squad out capable of getting a comfortable win at home.
Yeah, because for me, the one player who does play in, week in, week out, game in, game out, that hasn't had a breather at all is Cochrane, isn't it? We've signed the other left back, and I don't know whether or not he'll consider giving Cochrane a breather, but he doesn't ever seem to look tired, does he, Craig? Cochrane, he's just unbelievable.
I'll tell you what, he is the epitome of the Duracell bunny because he just never ever runs out of energy. And the thing is, even when he does look tired, you can still see that he's got another gear in him to go through. But The other thing is he is an incredible reader of the game. So he doesn't need to have the pace or to be in the positions all the time because he knows exactly what's gonna happen. And I think that's what's made him even better this season. I mean, yeah, to go back on what everybody said, they looked extremely tired, all of them. Yeah, across the weekend. I saw a comment just before the game, which was, "This is going to be our Stockport again." And actually, in terms of the overall performance, it was. The only difference was we didn't see 2 goals, but the actual performance was very much on par. But you've got to say, you know, Reading didn't do much. They just nullified a lot of what we did try and do. So when we tried something different, they always seemed to have that player that was either in the way or was just making a total nuisance of themselves. And it's actually exactly what we were like a couple of seasons ago. We couldn't go out and win games by loads of goals, but we made absolute nuisance of ourselves and stopped other teams, nullified anything they were doing, and that's what Reading did. Yeah. But I do think there'll be changes tomorrow night. The one thing I do hope, though, desperately, is that we keep the nucleus and we keep the strength that's there, because you change it about too much and we end up losing a game. You know, then as much as it's not going to be the end of the world, but actually, you know, as Mark says, the game in hand. We want to take the 3 points from this game to put even more pressure on those people below us. And then come Saturday, when we have the Wickhams turning up, they've got to go hell for leather. So if all of a sudden they come into the game and you know, they're only 5, 6 points behind, they're going to start thinking, actually, do you know what? We get a result. We're back in this. Whereas take 3 points tomorrow, they're going to come into, oh my God, what are we up against? And the confidence is still high despite not getting the results. I think as Davies said at the end of the game, if we can't win it, we don't lose it. And that's pretty much what we did. We made sure we didn't lose.
Yeah, no, 100%. But I mean, Clara and Davies as well, I thought were really good on Saturday again, and they always are. And I want to single Davies out as well because for me, he doesn't get, you know, the praise as much as Clara does. I think Clara's fantastic. Don't get me wrong, the best centre half we've had for a long time. But Ben Davies next to him as well. You know, I don't think Clara would be playing the football he is without him there. And sort of, I'm going to go early with a question to all our viewers and everyone here. I want everyone in your lifetimes to tell me your top 3 ever centre-half partnerships at Blues.
Wow.
Give it some thought. You don't have to answer it now.
Can I just interject there, Paul?
Yeah.
Mathematically, if we continue to score the amount of points per game that we have done for 30 games for another 16, we'll have around 107 points.
Yeah.
And if Wickham and Wrexham win every game between now and the end of the season, they won't have 100.
There you go. So there's.
Oh, it's certainly not a panic station. And if we take if we beat Orient and only draw with Wickham, that's Wickham. They never catch us.
Yeah. I appreciate this question's a generational thing again, but you know, top 3 centre half partnerships. I think Clara and Davies is the best we've had for a while.
Dan and Roger Johnson I liked as well.
Yeah. Ups and Cunningham.
Yeah. I'd say Ups and Cunningham for one for me in my life. I love Perth and Jono as well. They were good together.
Yeah.
But yeah, give us your thoughts, Rob. I think you know, overall the performance wasn't bad, was it? But we got out of there with the point.
Yeah, I mean, like everybody else has said, we just looked so tired. I mean, to be fair, Paul, Reading are no mugs. I mean, they came and gave us a fright on the opening day, didn't they?
Yeah.
And I think as the season goes on and we come towards the last sort of batch of games, you know, the business end sort of thing, we're going to get a lot of games like this.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to start steamrolling teams because people will be fighting to get into playoffs or stay up or whatever. I think defensively we looked all right. The all-stop was excellent. It's almost like a tired sort of finish from Dykes as well, wasn't it? You know, the way he just put it straight down the middle.
But you know, he shouldn't be as tired though, should he? Because he only come off the bench against Bradford.
No, you just wish he had that sort of killer instinct. You know, he's got to work.
I think he was trying to be too precise, to be honest. I've got to get this. Ball's bumping all over the place. I've got to get this on target. And he did get it on target, but didn't hit hard enough.
The problem is he doesn't look at the goal at one time in everything he does. So he doesn't even see the defender on the line.
No.
He watches the ball, so he thinks he can just tap it over the line, and then obviously the defender's there. So it's that head up. I think from a coach's point of view, what you're working on there is getting your head up and seeing what's around you before you do it. But if you watch him, his eyes are on the crosser first, and then straight on the ball, and not on the who's around the goal. He knows the goal is not there, so it's one of those.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry, Paul. Just want to say, like everybody else said, we need to freshen it up big time tomorrow. Not many changes, like Craig said, but yeah, definitely likes to Bielik. Maybe he'll get a start, or Alfie's bound to get a start. You think Juki would be on the bench? I think Williamson's going through a bit of a sticky patch at the minute as well, isn't he? He looks like his confidence has dipped a bit.
If you don't play him in the 10, though, then don't play him at all. That's my opinion.
No, because he's wasted, like, isn't he?
Yeah, 100%. But he's very good in the 10, but he's still getting his match fitness back, isn't he? To be fair, he's only just coming back from his injury. But
that's it. Yeah. End of the day, Paul, it's like 70 points out of 90?
Yeah. There's nothing to worry about at all. I've got no concerns. We're definitely going to win this division. Like you said earlier, Mark Meredith, the players coming in would probably get every other team in this division, comfortably as well. I mean, Alfie May was the top goal scorer in this division for the last 2 years. So, we got the division's top goal scorer for the last 2 years to replace, Lyndon Dykes or Jay Stansfield.
Yeah.
And I still think Juki at this level won't have a problem either. If we was to call upon him, I wouldn't have a problem with him coming off the bench or even starting a game if we needed him to. Yeah. Going back to Dykes' chance, though, he had that split second, didn't he? He connected with it well enough, but he just obviously hit it straight when he only had to hit it in either corner, and it was a goal.
You can think about it too much, can't you? And I think that was potentially his problem. He had too much time. So, of course, what he's thinking about is that ball's dropping to him. He's right, I have got to put this in the net. And then as he swings, it's just nothing behind him. But also, I've got to say, it was also a great clearance by the defender, considering he was actually going in the opposite direction and then swung his leg out to stop it going in. Yeah. So, it was actually a good piece of defending at the end of it. We've had an interesting comment, actually, from Bill Mint. And he said, in his opinion, one of the best performances of the season was away to Wigan. And tomorrow evening, all of that team is available, bar Harris. So would you give them a go? And I think, do you know what? Yeah. That's a great shout, that is. It's a really good shout.
That's pretty much the team. That's pretty much what the team would be anyway, isn't it? Apart from, as you say, Harris. But you could put, who could go on the left? Maybe Hansen, if he's fit enough.
Fit now. He's back. I mean, I was expecting him to come on, especially when Keshi got injured, and that side of the pitch was very little production came from that side of the pitch. And, even if he just got him on the pitch to get his legs moving, it wouldn't have done him any harm, would it? And, it's not like he's going to...
I honestly think it's stupid that stopped him from playing. I think he was thought that it was a risk putting him on that type of pitch.
Maybe, yeah.
We'll see. I'm almost certain we'll see him tomorrow night. I don't see a reason why he wouldn't give it a go, especially as Keshi's got the niggle. Yeah. Albeit, again, positive news, seems to be not as bad as what they were initially thought it would be. So I think he's actually in contention again for tomorrow night.
It wouldn't surprise me at all if Stansfield's in the squad tomorrow night. You know what Chris Davies is like. He keeps his cards chest, doesn't he, with injuries. I wouldn't be surprised at all if he's, I'm not going to say starting, but if he was on the bench tomorrow night, I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Again this week, I think, I can't remember who he was talking about, probably Williamson. He on the way back a week or two, see him. He's there. He does it. You have to read the code. Oh, if he's back on the grass, then he's about a week away. Yeah. And if he's with us, he's probably going to play or be on the bench on Saturday. You have to. You have to get rid of all the fluff. I just think he's brilliant, to be honest. You know, the way he does things. You know, he people who listen to him speak every week know what he's actually thinking, and the people who are watching because they want trying to guess what our team will be don't get a clue, to be honest.
No. But going back to the team at Wigan, Craig, I think Gardner Hickman started in that game, didn't he, as well?
He did indeed, yeah.
So
tomorrow though for Peake, honestly.
Say again.
I think Gardner Hickman will start instead of Peake tomorrow, though. To be fair.
Yeah. He was a bit leggy.
Peake's been anonymous for 2 or 3 games now.
Yeah, he looks shattered, doesn't he?
Yeah.
But Watton did get a little bit of a knock as well.
Yeah.
It seems to be honest. I mean, when the players are tired anyhow, they're more prone to getting a knock, aren't they? Because they're not as quick when it comes to dodging the, should we say, dubious tackles that occur. And I think that's where we are potentially picking up the majority of our injuries. It's not because we're trying too hard. It's because actually sometimes we're just not quick enough to dodge what's coming in. All bar Dykes' injury, which to me it's a muscle strain from what you can see, because as soon as he started running, he was like he got shot, Craig. No, that's it. Yeah, it was the way he was grabbing his leg. But the thing again, 2 players who arguably with the types of injuries that you would have thought were happening. So, you know, first couple of minutes with the twisted knee, and then Dykes, you'd think to yourself that actually, why were they not stretchered off if those injuries were as bad as what they were? So, again, I take that as a few positives. Paul, we've had a few people that have shouted some partnerships out on the message board. So Fraser Higgins has said for him, it's Johnson and Dan, Cunningham and Upson, and Daesh and Breen.
That's a shame. Daesh and Breen were good, yeah.
I would change, out of all of those, I agree with those 3, bar 1 player. I would change Gary Breen for Dave Barnett.
Dave Barnett, yeah.
Play that, yeah. 100%, at this level, yeah.
That's the only change though to Fraser's that I would actually change. And Gary Applin has said he's going back in time, but Hind and Haaland.
Yep, Hind and Haaland, yeah.
Haaland.
Take him.
Not that one though.
They were both long past their best at the time, but they did a good job, especially in the promotion year. They were outstanding, but they found a bit wanting. Certainly Stan was when we got in the first division.
When I started going, it was Matthewson and Overson, and they were good as well.
Yeah, they were.
You know, when you think about it, we've had some good centre-half partnerships, haven't we?
Yeah.
To be fair, even when we were, you know, struggling and that, we had Morrow and Robbo, didn't we? It were good, 2 good solid pros for us at the back. You know, probably helped keep us up. Well, they did help us keep us up, didn't they? A lot of the times. Season under Gary Monk as well. I enjoyed watching Harley Dean and Michael Morrison then as well. So, you know, even during the bleaker times when the club was obviously in the doldrums, we still had a decent centre-half partnership.
We seem to have always had, I suppose, when you think defensively, actually, it's very rare when you go back over all of the years that we've had a really, really poor defence. You know, we've normally got at least 2 players that in a defensive position stand out and go on to, you know, you look at the team that was relegated and the fact that they then went on to do bigger and better things apart from Roger Johnson, who did his double relegation. But, you know, that was just a fluke. But when you look at those other ones, you've got that. And, that's a great shape by Jason Hughes. So we're talking about these centre-halves. We haven't even mentioned Steve Bruce.
Bruce Ablett.
Bruce Ablett was phenomenal for that league.
Yeah. On YouTube, 3 people have said this partnership. Todd and Gallagher. Colin Todd, Joe Gallagher.
Yeah.
Before my time, but I've heard a lot about them.
Yeah, Colin Todd.
Colin Todd was one of the best players in the country before he ever came to us. I mean,
how we got him, I don't know.
It was he was the England centre half, you know, and well,
it's brilliant.
Jim Smith spent the Trevor Francis money 3 times over. And that's how we got him. And they had to, once Saunders came in, he got rid of them because he couldn't afford them.
Would they be yours, Al? Would they be your best one you've seen in your life, Todd and Gallagher, or would you go Cunningham?
No. I always plumped for the Cunningham and
Upson.
But yes, Joe Gallagher had several partners and was a very good centre half. He was lucky not to go. I mean, he had one England B cap. He was lucky not to get a go. But in those days, the centre halves in the first division were, he was a long way down the queue. But that's not to say he wasn't of that standard, But, I mean, I can go back to Trevor Smith, but they didn't play with two centre halves in there. They played with one, and the two wing backs either side. Malcolm Beard was sort of the defensive wing half in those days, who also was a great defender. But it was a different game then. All Trevor Smith did was edit and kick it. And if you come in my penalty area, you've got to be a very brave man. Really, really want to score, because otherwise you're going back down that pitch, with a tooth or so missing.
I guess as well, to make your ultimate centre half partnership out of everyone's top threes, once you've thought of them, which two players would you put together to make the ultimate partnership, or would you just keep them the same?
Oh man, you're making it even harder.
I'm on form. Imagine Kenny Cunningham with Daisha. I mean, Upson was class, but I'm just imagining Cunningham and Daisha. I mean, I'll probably play together for Ireland, but that would have been a good partnership, wouldn't it? Or Jono and Cunningham as well. And yeah, you can.
Wow.
Or Upson and Roger Johnson would have been good as well, wouldn't it?
How about
Upson and Bruce?
Alan, how about Roger Hind and Daisha?
Yeah, you wouldn't want to go into that.
No one's going to get past them, are they?
No. Before it goes off my screen, a good comment here from Ricky Ruffles, which I totally agree with, and I said this myself at the time on the show.
I was just about to tell you this one, yeah.
Yeah. We should not have let Yokoyama go on loan. Even before the injuries, I would have had him on the bench with his pace every game. And when we went through that little spell of, not picking up as many points, I think it was over about 4 or 5 games, we definitely could have done with him coming off the bench. In my opinion, anyway, and now we really could do with him.
I just think that he suffers with not being able to defend. That's his only problem. I think he's as an impact player in the last 20 minutes, 100%.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But I think with Hansen back, Hansen can do the same. So when we played Orient early on in the season, they had a really high line. And when you had Hansen on one side, Keshi on the other, and May, they were trying to play it out from the back, and we kept hitting that.
Yeah.
And the runs that Hansen was making. So we need a bit of pace tomorrow, because their line is quite high. I don't know whether they've changed it, but I think it's a really tough one, isn't it? Because we all like Yokoyama. Hopefully when he comes back, he would have learned something. But I just think defensively he's not great.
No, not at all. But what about you, Claire, anyway, in your life so far? Your top 3 centre-half partnerships you've seen?
Probably Persons, Johnson, probably Dan and Johnson, and then probably, Morrison.
Yeah.
And probably Dean.
Yeah. Do you not remember?
I've got to admit Clara and Davis are well up there for me.
Really good. Yeah. Do you not remember Cunningham and Upson, though?
Cunningham and Upson, yeah.
Yeah.
To be fair, I think all our centre-backs that we've had, there's only been a couple that haven't been great, but otherwise, we've always had strong partnerships. I think we're quite a good team to try and get partnerships together. I mean, our back four partnership at the moment is up there with the Carling Cup winning one. It's up there with, some of the others as well, because we've always seemed to have good fullbacks as well who manage to get up and down. So
the two we haven't mentioned, right? And they wasn't together for long, but they were a phenomenal partnership because they got us through some really tough games, and that was Caldwell and Davies.
Yeah, definitely. That season under Chris were very good.
Because of Chris Hughton, when you think about the situation we were in, trying to get ourselves back into the Premier League, and actually, getting to the position that we did was a phenomenal achievement, considering we'd also gone and played all those additional games in Europe and ultimately were cheated out of the final 16 of a European competition. I mean, that's just ridiculous, really. But yeah, that's another partnership that we forget about because they were only together for a short period.
Yeah, but even with them two centre halves that we've mentioned, obviously those partnerships, the right back and full back in the teams that they played as well, the left back and right back were quality as well, weren't they? I mean, with Bruce and Ablett, it was Granger and Rowett, wasn't it? And with Cunningham and Upson, it was Kenner and Clapham or Granger again. And then with obviously the Carling Cup winning team, Johnson and Dan, was Ridgewell and Stephen Carr, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The whole back four, we've been quite spoilt really with some good defenders really. When you look at where we've been and how we've suffered recently, overall the back four hasn't really served us too bad. I mean, you can even go back to Maxime Colin, can't you?
He never let us down, did he?
He was a solid player for us at right back. And then
we've had some horrendous ones like.
Well, Anthony Bailey has just said, "What a partnership Tyler Blackett and Gavin Gunning were."
Yeah. What was the other one? Grant Hall.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying we haven't had any bad players, but we have had a lot of good partnerships at centre half, haven't we? Though.
Ferdinand Coley, great player.
Bragstat, Otto Bragstat.
I'll tell you one partnership that didn't play together very much, but I don't think there'd be many better. It was Joe Gallagher and Kenny Burns when Kenny Burns played for us at centre half. That was a quality. I mean, Kenny Burns was an international, and Joe wasn't far off. And but in those days, I can't remember the names. Who would have been playing, but we were never great at fullback at that time. We didn't have that support of a back four. I mean, what we really should be talking about is back fours. But
yeah.
But it is important to have some decent fullbacks alongside because at the end of the day, the ball goes past your two centre halves, and your fullback should be coming round to cover.
Yeah.
And in the old days, they didn't.
No. Good comment here from Mick Greaves, and he's got me thinking, and I think I know who the other one is. So Paul Marden was good, but not sure of the other defender, and I think that was Richard Dryden.
You know what, Paul, as well, going back even to the 91 final, Overson and Mathewson were two ones we had for quite a few. Lower league football, obviously, but good two.
Tony Jones and Mick Graves. I mean, we haven't spoke about this one, but Noel Blake.
Noel Blake.
All my time, but I've heard a lot of...
And Van der Hau. Again, tough as they come.
Yeah.
And Paul Marden. We haven't mentioned Paul Marden, have we? He was class.
Just did, mate, about 10 minutes ago.
Yeah. Rogue, catch up. I know there's a delay on Facebook, but that's ridiculous.
Coventry's buffering.
You know that Richard Dryden guy? He played next to Paul Marden. That's what we were doing.
Should we move on to? Should we talk about the game on Saturday then?
Claire, I believe you've got a new subject to discuss, haven't you? One of your new you got a new thing.
Yeah, so obviously we all go to games or we watch them, and I think sometimes you stand there and you got to appreciate what the other team are like and who plays for them. And I stood there on Saturday and I thought number 27 for them, I would probably sign for the Blues in some capacity because I thought he was really good. Can't remember his name, but number 27. And then I had the chat with Craig, and then Craig, you said you thought Savage's son.
Charlie Savage for me is just he's a raw talent, and I think if there was ever a player that we could go after because he wants to play his trade and he wants to learn, I think he'd be phenomenal. I'd love him there now.
Well, he fouled Laird. I mean, he was lucky not to get sent off. The bloke who fouled Laird, it was right on his thigh. High tackle.
Yeah. It was. I'll tell you what. There were certain parts of his game that did remind me of his dad. He wasn't afraid to get his foot in. He made a nuisance of himself. That was typical Savage type of behaviour. But he could also rasp a ball when he wanted to, and there were quite a few crossfield balls that he made. They were just absolutely superb. And You think if he was in a team where he got people around him and he could develop, then I think he could make a really good player. But yeah, I mean, he would be mine from them, definitely.
What is it?
Was it Amadou Mbengui?
Mbengui.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Is he a 6, is he, Charlie Savage, or is he an 8 or both, or what?
Well, he wore number 8.
He wore 8, but I think he is a mixture of both. He could knock a ball about, but he was good in terms of the defensive side. You know, I think I'd probably push him more forwards than that. I don't think
left-footed as well, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, which surprised me.
I like that Harvey Nibbs as well. Is it Harvey Nibbs?
That number 7.
He's a decent player as well. Another one.
You can get some gems out of this division. I mean, going back further, we signed Shay Adams out of this league, didn't we? You know, and obviously he's gone on to do decent things. So, yeah, you can get the odd gem for, you know, and you can pick them up for next to nothing as well, can't you?
I mean, some of them would struggle to get into our team, but I just thought that, obviously, when we're playing against some of these that we don't know, it'll be nice to just be like, oh, did anyone notice anyone that was decent, really? Because at some point, you never know, do you?
No. I mean, going back over the whole season so far, Claire, who would you say the best player we've come up against is for the opposition?
Oh.
apart from Newcastle, obviously. And Fulham. So I'm saying in the league, who would you say is the best player that's played against us this season?
Don't say the Stockport player. I know.
No, I'm not going to say him. Don't worry. But he never turned up, did he? He was in Billy's back pocket for the first game. He never turned up.
Did he get injured?
Yeah, he was injured, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Gave it a big one. I don't know, actually. I think it's a really tough thing to say who's played really well against us. I think each game, there is normally someone who stand out for them.
Yeah.
But it's really, because I don't really.
No, exactly. But nobody stood out by leaps and bounds, have they? Otherwise,
no. Like I think obviously Kone probably for Wickham.
Yeah.
Showed a little bit, but that was right at the start of the season, wasn't it? So I think the team. Sorry, one sec. The team that's probably stood out was probably Wickham, the first away game.
Yeah.
Because I mean, they are very direct.
Yeah.
But I think that they've got a bit of pace. But there's nobody apart from us that I'd say, wow, they should be competing with us.
No, I think there was 1 or 2 in Peterborough's team when they went 2-0 up against us at home.
I'm just looking his name up now. The centre half who scored the second goal, I think, he was giant, and he stood for. I kept looking at him thinking, yeah, this kid's got it. He's big. He's a bit wiry. He isn't that top heavy, so he can get about. And his heading ability was obviously for everybody to see there. I'm just trying to find his name here.
That's all right. But I think
Peterborough winger, says Mark Futrell.
Is it Poku? Pete Taylor said, because he was good.
Yeah, I think if you asked every other club's fans that have played against us when Jay Stansfield was fit,
oh yeah,
I'm confidently sitting here saying that they would say Jay Stansfield, unless there's obviously a jealousy thing there. I think they'd have to say Jay Stansfield, surely.
What club wouldn't sign?
Exactly.
I also think I think was it a right back, I think, for Rotherham. He seemed to get up and down the pitch as well. But I just think it might be nice to kind of, obviously, they don't play for us, so we don't really care about them. But, like, obviously, it'd be good to kind of say, actually, they're a good player from the opposition, because there's so many that, like you said before, with Shay Adams, we've signed. There's been so many times in the Championship when we've gone, actually, why don't we go lower?
Yeah.
See what we've got. Do you know what I mean? There are some gems there that might be worth
the midfielder that scored against Birmingham for Wrexham as well is a very good player.
Small bone, isn't it?
Rathbone.
Close.
Wishbone.
Small bone.
Yeah. Rogue's thinking about food because of the fact that that's, all he gets is little bits when he's in prison. So he's thinking about a wishbone.
Yeah, there is a small bone somewhere in there. I'm sure there's a player somewhere called Small Bone.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
Didn't he play for Southampton?
I think so, yeah.
We're not
Yeah.
going to the last 15 realm, are we? Yeah, Paul.
Yeah, we're talking about bones.
I knew it was something bone, but I couldn't remember what the first bit was.
There we go, ladies and gents. The last 15 is going to be food.
No.
Yeah, so so far, it's going to be a memorable season, and let's get the job done. Let's get over the line. Let's get the League One as soon as we can, and let's get to Wembley and win that trophy as well. And then it'll be a lovely, memorable season, won't it? Especially for all our kids as well, because they deserve it more than us, don't they? Because they haven't really experienced anything yet.
Yeah.
I mean, is there? I guess mathematically, if all the results went our way, it is feasible that by the time we're at Wembley, we've also been promoted.
Yeah,
I've said 6 more wins.
Imagine.
I said 6 more wins, and I think we would win the league in 6 more wins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, actually,
Can you imagine?
couldn't we win the title without actually kicking a ball that particular weekend as well?
Possibly.
It did literally. I think that's why I think the Wrexham results are probably more important than the Wickham. Because to me, I want to get promoted. Obviously, I want to win it. Don't get me wrong, but promotion's the main thing. And can you see Wrexham winning every single game?
No.
They're
going to play Wickham. They're going to play Wickham at some stage, haven't they?
Yeah.
Another centre half we haven't mentioned, Radij Aida. He was.
He was.
Him and the other one they got from Bolton as well.
Ngoti.
Yeah. It was like running at a pair of bloody towers, wasn't it? They were like he had a head like a wall, didn't he? That Jaida, he scored loads of headers.
Yeah.
I used to love it when he danced in front of the keeper as well. When
Free kicks. Yeah, I'm gonna stand around and see what happens.
Yeah,
never get away with it nowadays, would you? But it was brilliant when he did it.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, no, he was decent for us as well. That season we went up under Brucey, wasn't he?
Yeah. Can you imagine though? We beat Peterborough away and then playing at Wembley. So win the league at Peterborough. A few days later, win at Wembley against them.
That'd be good, wouldn't it?
Can you imagine that?
Barry Fry would be doing a jig.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
And we all said it. I mean, come on, put it out to people as well on the board. Who would you prefer in the final, Wrexham or Peterborough? I think Peterborough. Aim for me.
Barry Fry, yeah.
I don't mind. Honestly, I think we can beat them both.
Yeah.
So whoever gets there deserves it. So it's not going to be an easy game between them, and that's tomorrow night, isn't it?
Wednesday.
Yeah. And that's at Wrexham.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
With their whole 5,500 tickets sold. I mean, it's ridiculous, really, when you think about it, isn't it? There's us, just shy of 37,000 that have been allocated to go to Wembley. You're thinking Wembley holds just shy of 90,000 when it's full, but you take out the middle tier because of hospitality. That's still going to give you, in and around, 75, 80,000 seats. We get 37 at the moment, and they can't even sell out a semi-final. How much is this coming to? You know what I mean? Are we going to get more tickets afterwards? You would desperately hope so, because Peterborough, they only took about, 19,000 last year?
23.
To the final? Was it 22, Mark? 23?
I think we get there. I think we get 50,000 in the end. I think once you get the second allocation, I think 49,000 Sunderland got, didn't they, 2 or 3 years ago? And I think we got the same as them, really.
Yeah, I reckon we'd comfortably sell 65,000, wouldn't we, if we were given all them seats?
I think so. I think
we would.
I think we would.
Yeah.
Basically, I think anyone who wants to go will find a way, won't they? Basically.
Yeah. Just give us a stadium.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. 250,000 on the mailing list.
Yeah.
And a worldwide panic because of the fact that they've been to 5 games and they don't qualify for priority. Do you know what? Ladies and gents, they're putting on a special offer. It's a brilliant idea from the club and wholeheartedly back it. 2 games, get yourself extra priority. Get yourself down there.
The one thing, though, Craig, is there is something I will have to say, because I know it's affected people that I know, is the thing is that lots of people brought the season tickets.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they brought this out as well. So I just think that from the club's point of view, it's better if you have one scheme.
Should only have one scheme.
Yeah, because I think that I know people that have bought 4 tickets for their mates, and now they're having to buy an extra one so that they can go up the priority, which I get, and it's great, but you're not actually going to get somebody there. You're going to just get an empty seat.
Yeah, and there is the other factor of the amount of people that bought tickets under the club scheme but never actually went to a game as well. So this is the other thing that to factor in is the amount of people that bought the £5, or £10 tickets and never went. Now they get priority because of it. So that is the only other downside. But then, is there a fair way? Is there a fair way ever? I don't think there is. Apart from I wholeheartedly back the Platinum Plus, Platinum and Gold members going first. That was a given, and that should always have been in place. Season ticket holders second, yes, because it's all put up front. After that, for me, don't necessarily have to do, all of what they have done. To go down another 3 layers before it gets to general sale. The panic is out there that people aren't going to get tickets because it's going to reach general sale. I can't, based on the people that have attended games, and if you look at all the attendances, the 18,000 season ticket holders, there's, Claire, is it about 1,800 that qualify as Platinum Plus, Platinum and Gold?
I think, I don't know obviously definite numbers, but I reckon you're talking 2,000 or 3,000. But each of us that are in Platinum Plus, Platinum and Gold have to have a season ticket anyway.
Yeah.
So if you think about the first 2, that's 18,000. So you're talking half. The Lincoln game actually didn't have that many. It was only around 2,000, if that. So that's 20,000. Then you've got 16,000 for many of those that haven't been to loads of games. The one I think that's going to be the most would be the 9 gamer, because now people are all sudden up in it. I think we'll get extra. I hope we get extra, because if anything, this does show that we could actually probably sell out a 60,000 seat stadium, but it's a big occasion. But if you don't go to the games, you don't go to the games.
Could I start a petition for Jay Stansfield, if he scores in the final, to have under his shirt the same T-shirt as what in 1995?
Oh, yeah.
I want to start another petition that Juki is captain on the day.
Yo, UK! At BetMGM, we give our players sports betting entertainment like nobody's business. Football, horse racing, darts, boxing, tennis, golf, NFL, NBA. You name it, we got it. Offers? You know it. Bet £10 and get £40 in free bets. BetMGM, it's showtime.
New customers only. Exclusions apply. 18 plus. Please gamble responsibly.
This message comes from Greenlight. Ready to start talking to your kids about financial literacy? Meet Greenlight, the debit card and money app that teaches kids and teens how to earn, save, spend wisely, and invest with your guardrails in place. With Greenlight, you can send money to kids quickly, set up chores, automate allowance, and keep an eye on your kids' spending with real-time notifications. Join millions of parents and kids building healthy financial habits together on Greenlight. Get started risk-free at greenlight.com/listen. greenlight.com/listen.
I don't know if he'll start, but
it might not be a sub though, Craig. He might not even be on the bench.
For me, the most likely player that we've got that would do that, what Tatey did, is Jay Stansfield, isn't it?
Yeah,
that'd be brilliant, wouldn't it? How good would that be?
Or stick it under the t-shirts of under the tops of every single player, and then at the end of the game, if they do it.
It's crazy though. How many good players might actually be missing out? They might not even get on the bench. Some of them.
Yeah. It's a shame that there isn't more. I'm shocked that at the level we are, that they don't have more subs.
Yeah.
Because you would give, like you would throw in a couple of kids, wouldn't you? Do you know what I mean? And I just think there's some of these teams that would actually give youngsters more of a chance. But literally, with the amount of subs you get, that's it. For squad sizes, I think, compared to the Premier League.
Yeah, is it 7 subs and you can put 5 on? Is that right?
Yes. But isn't it like more in the Premier League? Isn't it about 9?
Yeah, and the Championship.
Yeah, so I just think it's a shame because you could see some under 21s get in, and I just think at this level, I don't understand why we don't have that, unless it's because it's to make it fair.
Yeah.
I think the League One, it's a financial thing because you've got to pay 9 people for sitting on the backside instead of 7, and I think that's all it is. It's just economy. You know, you've got to pay whatever.
But you just pay them weekly anyway, Alan. It doesn't make a difference.
No, I think the problem is
they get less money than if they are. You know, they still get appearance money, and they still, if your sub sits on a bench and doesn't get on, he gets a certain amount of appearance money. If he gets on for 10 minutes, he probably gets his full appearance money. You know, and I mean, I've seen in the past where people have been sent on in the last minute because the gaffer thinks, well, he deserves his appearance money. Nothing to do with the game. You know, it's just playing out the last 5 minutes with another player on who gets his.
Well, I think what it is, though, I think if you look at it, everyone that's on the bench has to be on a pro contract. So the smaller clubs in the league, League One, League Two, they don't have all of these kids on pro contracts. So to offer contracts out to put 2 or 3 players on the back end of the 6 they already have, or 7, going to be a problem. We're spoiled because we got 25 players on contract that don't even get in the match day squad. But a lot of these smaller teams struggle to get 7, let alone 9 every week. And it wouldn't be fair for us to have 9 and them to only have 7 to pick from.
Yeah.
Somebody turned up at St Andrews with only 6 subs. I can't remember who it was, but it was on telly because they interviewed the manager afterwards and said you only had 6 subs. And he said, well, so we got fit. He said, we couldn't find anybody else.
Yeah. On the subject of youngsters, what's panel's thoughts on Ramel Donovan and the speculation of a £5 million offer from Brentford before he went on loan, which the club then held out and said, no, go on loan, prove your worth. Do you think there's anything in that, or is it all talk?
Well, I think I want more.
Yeah. First and foremost, I'm glad that we're in the position now where we can turn a £5 million offer down. That's my first thought on that one. But if he has got the potential, to come into our team and be a star, then keep hold of him for sure. Yeah, because on that right hand side, we're not blessed with loads of options, are we? On the right, really?
No.
So yeah, I mean, if they want to keep him, keep him. If Chris Davies sees something there, but he's playing for Brentford under 21s, isn't he, at the moment, or under 23s?
He's playing in their development squad, and apparently he's really showing a lot of potential, to the point that they were talking at one point, because of the injuries, etc., that Brentford have had, he could even break into their first team.
Okay.
Now, that to me would be interesting, because if he does, then the club have have they done the right thing and held off? I think the answer to that would be yes. You're not going to get a youngster of his calibre breaking in at that age, being $5 million. You'd probably look at double that across most clubs. You go to Man City, Man United, they're all doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Youngsters go for stupid money.
Yeah. No, it'd be interesting to see what happens with him.
But then I do agree with Benji Smith. He's just put, because I was about to say, he didn't do very well at Burton.
They sent him back.
I think it depends on his attitude. I think he's got potential. But it's what is he like as a person? What is he like as a player? Because obviously, Mark Meredith, you could probably help with this one, because it's not just about the playing potential, is it? It's about the all-round, what he's going to be like, maybe, because he's gone to Brentford and they're a Premier League team as such. They're under 21s. Do you think that he's maybe thought, actually, this is my opportunity?
Yeah, I think so. I think obviously the environment you're in is going to be big as well, and obviously he's probably got a lot of not saying that he didn't have respect for Burton, but he's probably got a lot of respect of where Brentford are and what that can do. It's tough because obviously for young players, they're always looking at what they are like on off the pitch as well as on it, but it's also keeping them grounded, isn't it? As a young kid, if you've got an 18-year-old, like in the one thing that Jude done very well all through his youth career and still now is he's very grounded in everything he does. And I think unfortunately a lot of them get lost under not just talent of football, but just attitude around the training ground, how they spend their money, all that sort of stuff away from the pitch becomes a problem. So, yeah, he's probably in the right environment right now, and I do think we'll sell him at some point. I don't think he won't be at Blues forever, but if we can hold out, like you said, and get a little bit more money, then why not, for the club's point of view?
Yeah, no, 100%. Chris, have we got a who? Should we start with the who?
We have got a who, yeah. Just before the who comes, somebody mentioned with the new boss at Rangers. Do you think, yeah.
They can't call them back because they're both season-long loans.
Oh, can't they? Oh, right. Okay. Well, that's
from my understanding.
All the best of Blues legend Barry Ferguson there. And his coaching job, and it's always good to see ex-Blues players doing well in management, isn't it? You know, we've had Wembley, to be fair, that have done all right. You know, so yeah, good luck to him.
I wouldn't want to be in that dressing room if they play as poorly as they have been, and he's now in charge. Put it that way. The fireworks would not outlay the expletives, but sometimes you need people like that in the dressing room, don't you, to tell you as it is, you know. And as players, should react to that. And if you don't, then actually the question is, do you deserve to play for the club?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, then here we go. Is you
former guest?
Former guest? Yeah. It's quite an old one. This one is. Let's see if you can.
I remember he rang me and says, "Well," he said, "Where are you?" Maybe not as politely as that. And I think I was leading on a Lilo.
That's what I'm getting. Yeah.
Northerner.
Yeah.
On a Lilo.
Oh, you got to do that again, Paul. That was actually quite good.
Is that Scottish, Paul?
You play again, Chris?
But one I'm not as proud of. And
ooh, I wanted to get that last bit. I've
got hold of it, Steve.
Here you go.
And then, I remember he rang me and says, "Well," he said, "Where are you?" Maybe not as politely as that. And I think I was leading on a Lilo in I think I was in Spain, and he just said, "What the hell are you doing?"
This is a good one. This is a good one. I don't think any of you were on Tilton Talk when we did this.
Really?
It's a good one.
Oh, was he in the studio?
No, that was online. That was.
He was online. He was on the phone, was he?
Phone, yeah.
Is that dial-up internet?
Wasn't that long ago?
Paul Lillier said, "Is it Danny Sonner?"
No.
No, he was on the line.
Ian Clayton says it's got to be Ravel Morrison.
No, but that's a good guess.
Okay,
so yeah, controversial.
Fraser Higgins, Curtis Woodhouse. Anthony Bailey has said John McCarthy.
And he's got it correct. It was Curtis Woodhouse.
Was it?
Yeah. It's Curtis, yeah.
Curtis?
Wow.
Good one. Well done.
Back on, actually.
Oh, no one on the panel would have got that, would they?
No?
Oh, I think I can't even remember Curtis Woodhouse being on.
Yeah. It's 2015, I believe, or 16.
Wow, it's going back a bit.
Yeah, 10 years ago.
Yeah. I mean, Robe was in shorts.
Yeah.
He was still in prison, but he was in shorts.
Exactly. Child offender.
It's when he just started it. He'd just gone in, hadn't he, at that point? It was out of juvie and informal prison. That's what it was.
The tags weren't itchy back then.
Well, talking about Thursday, Obafemi Day.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
of course.
Obafemi Day.
Yeah.
What's that now? 14 years?
14 years.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Quick that has. That has gone quick. 14 years, really.
It has, yeah. 14 years.
Well, it's 14 years of turmoil as well, though, isn't it? When you think about it, you know, it's not even as that. Well, no, the season afterwards wasn't that bad considering the situation we were in, but anything after that is just horrendous.
Yeah, I think Rowett deserves some credit though, doesn't he, for stabilising us for a few seasons?
Yeah, definitely.
But after we sacked him, it was just carnage, weren't it? For like 5 or 6 or 8 years, yeah.
It then became manager bingo, didn't it? Let's face it. That's what that was all about.
But it's just mad how bad we were. And I've got to say it again because it's nearly Obafemi Day, but we are still, to this day, the only West Midlands club in this century to win a major trophy in high definition.
Yeah.
And Pete Taylor has said Taylor Gardner-Hickman actually played for Barnet.
Oh, get lost.
I did, yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh, he gets a prize.
So don't look at that.
One job.
Unbelievable. Not even I knew that.
But I did say Barnet under 12s.
Well.
Oh, well, he's got me there.
But, okay, we'll change the name this week. He played for Barnet, and here's his Barnet.
He didn't play for Barnet, or he might have played for Barnet.
And here's his Barnet.
And it's not Dave Barnet.
And it's not Dave Barnet because he played for Barnet.
Yeah.
He was linked with Barnet, and it's not Paul Marden.
You're cold there, Claire. You got to...
Yeah, I am.
Do you know what, Robe? You're actually quite funny this evening. I'm guessing you must have, drank a lot before you come on screen.
I genuinely was choking it.
I think his ankle bracelet is buzzing.
It's buzzing. It's making him smile.
I don't think he played for Barnet anyway, so I think we're all right. I think we're safe.
Yeah.
Any other comments or questions coming in on the chat boxes, Chris?
People are still going. People still have to go at the Barnet, to be honest.
Some people are reminiscing on our former cup finals, obviously going back to 91 and 95, and the limbs when John Scale scored the overhead kick. Someone saying, I mean, I was only, what was I then? I was 12, but I was there.
That was my first ever game watching Birmingham, what your class has been, live and actually physically being there. That was, and I was right on that corner flag to see that coming over, and it was just never ever forget it and never turn back since.
No, I was slap bang behind it when it went in.
Yeah,
me and my dad slap bang.
I remember going with my uncle. My uncle drove us all the way to Wembley and parked on. He had parking booked on Wembley car park. He was going to get the ticket off the car park attendant guy, and there was a sign up on his office saying no market on today, because I usually market on at the time at Wembley car park, and he said, I've driven all the way here from Birmingham for a market, and you're telling me there's no market on today. He was winding him up like, but I think he actually fell for it as well. He actually thought that he drove all the way from Birmingham for the Wembley market.
We went with the Junior Blues Club, and we were waiting in town in Digbeth for our coach, and the double-decker bus pulled up.
Oh, yeah.
So we went to Wembley on the double-decker bus instead.
Yeah, as I did, because my old man still works for him now. That's how we got down. And the funniest thing ever was, for every bus that went, there was also a bus following in case that bus broke down.
Yeah,
you were going down a motorway and you were being followed by empty buses.
So I'm hoping Craig gets a double-decker bus for the 13th.
Oh, no. Top class stuff for Solihull, mate, when it comes to that, mate. I'm telling you, brand new coaches. What can I say?
We went to Peterborough in a double-decker bus. That was a good one, that was, yeah.
Put this out there. How many times, and to our viewers and everyone here, how many times have we all been to the new and old Wembley? I think I went to the old Wembley about 9 times, and the new one I've probably been about the same, probably more than that.
I've been to all the finals, like obviously the old and new. But aside from that, I've only ever been for a couple of concerts. I went to ELO and I went to U2.
Did you?
I haven't. Yeah.
I watched England on the old Wembley, no?
I did.
The old Wembley.
England schoolboys.
I've never seen the old England, but I saw England in the new Wembley. So, yeah, obviously the final in 2011 and that, and then I was there for the 2 old games as well. But I take old Wembley back over new Wembley.
Oh, for atmosphere.
I would.
Any day of the week.
Yeah, the atmosphere was better.
Yeah.
Robbo says that as well, because he played at old and new, and he said that the old Wembley atmosphere was loads better than the new.
You couldn't beat the Twin Towers, could you, when you were walking up the Wembley Way? It's different now. That Wembley Way is totally changed, hasn't it, with the arch and stuff.
Still nice.
Most of us have never seen Blues lose at Wembley then.
No.
Have you been there?
I never went to the old one because 1991 I wasn't even born when we got to the final. So, and then 94 was too young. And then I've seen Blues Ladies when we had Man City in the cup.
Yeah,
I saw that.
Yeah, went to the been to a couple of women's games as well for England. Obviously, was there for Carling Cup. Been to about 4 or 5 concerts. And I've been for a couple of other games, but the best thing about the Wembley is the experience for everyone, because everyone can see, no one's restricted. It doesn't matter where you sat.
It's a good seat.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And obviously you go there because, I mean, if you've got a gig, it's normally a big name playing. And if you go for England, obviously you're going for your country. So, and if you get there for your club, you're normally in a final, aren't you? So, it's a special place to play football.
Absolutely. Jason Hughes, I'm very jealous, mate. Best non-Blues game I went to at the old Wembley was England 4, Netherlands 1 in 1996.
Wow. Man, yes, what a game.
That is the best performance I've seen from England in a tournament in my life so far. We were just phenomenal that day, weren't we? I was 17. Yeah. I remember running around going mad when we got the 4th, when we scored every goal. Someone's got a good question for us here as well. So, Blue Shadow, question for you all. Who is or has been our top 3 players who have been awful at Blues and why? So, I suppose he's asking our top 3 worst Blues players. How long you got, mate?
Enjoy.
Yeah.
Richard Kingston.
Tyler Black.
Yeah.
I can't.
So many.
What was the name who Harry Redknapp bought from Arsenal? Carl. Jenkinson.
Oh, Breck Shea as well.
Absolutely outstanding, as no peers as the worst person I've ever seen.
Ollie Burke.
Oh God, yeah, that's
yes, yeah. But Ollie Burke was continually bad, but Jenkinson was bad from the moment he stepped on the pitch. He was carried off after 35 minutes, and when he came back, I can remember he came on a sub second half at Cardiff, and we were 0-0. And the first shot of the game, he ducked, and the ball went in over his head. And the other game that sticks out was the match at Villa Park where Grealish made him. Well, I think he had to pay to get back in. He was so bad. But yes, he's from round here, and he played for Eastbourne, and Eastbourne had a big display with his One England cap. How he got that? He must have bought it off somebody. I can wax lyrical about that bloke forever. But terrible. And I accept all the others, everybody else's opinion. And I agree that what was the centre forward we had to come off at half time to go to his brother's wedding. And, oh God! But no, Jenkinson as a player that came from Arsenal and had an England cap he's playing for Bromley now.
Yeah,
and he don't fit in that team.
Yeah. The strike would have been was it Brock Madsen?
Brock Madsen, yeah. Pete Taylor's just said him.
Literally couldn't even hit barn door. Where have we got him from?
Cosgrove's been mentioned. Bernard's son.
Oh, yeah. What happened
Johnny Paskin? I've got John. That's not a name.
To be honest, Paskin scored a couple of goals.
Paskin was not
early 92. He weren't too bad.
Ferdinand Coley, Carlan Costley, Bernard's son again.
Has anybody said Costley? Jonathan Lecco? Has anybody said
Lecco? Do you know what? On this day, I mean, I remember the Norwich goal. Where we ended up had to do the drive there and back in one day. I didn't get home until about 2:30. And he was literally it was such a good goal. I think everyone was in shock to celebrate because he actually scored it. Because he ran with it and curled it bottom corner, didn't he?
Yeah,
good goal.
We've had some.
Did we not lose that on penalties, Claire?
Yes, we did. I needed to get home, and of course we had penalties.
And who missed?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, no, we've had some bad players over the years. I mean, Lee Bradbury on loan was bad, weren't he, as well?
Oh, bad boy, yeah.
Nick Groves said Mark Sale.
Yeah, he wasn't the best, was
He was okay.
He was okay.
I was gonna say Breck Shea. You know, the American. Remember him with his long, sort of blonde mullet? He was awful.
Yo, UK! At BetMGM, we give our players sports betting entertainment like nobody's business. Football, horse racing, darts, boxing, tennis, golf, NFL, NBA. You name it, we got it. Offers? You know it. Bet £10 and get £40 in free bets. BetMGM, it's showtime.
New customers only. Exclusions apply. 18 plus. Please gamble responsibly.
Yeah, we've had some.
Fraser Higgins, no, got to disagree with Jordan Ibe. I mean, at the end of the day, he was the lost of Bolton, so he may have been bad, but that's it.
Yeah, there's a.
Anthony Bailey has said Oliver Burke, Lyndon Dykes, and Neil Ardley.
What about Martin Lacker and Raphael Schmitz and people like that?
Oh,
when Brucey went a bit mad, didn't he, towards the end of his reign with us as manager? He sort of lost the plot a bit with some of his signings.
I'm glad you said
I'm cracking open a drink, I think.
Yeah, I know I am.
Watch it, Rogue. Those bubbles are going to go to your head.
Chris Sutton as well. I'm going back to your one England cap. I'm going to have to put Chris Sutton in there because he was bloody awful and all for us, wasn't he, really?
Yeah. Good player, but awful for us.
Yeah, I know.
We never great for us either, was they?
Who?
They had Andy Cole, didn't we?
Yeah.
That's right, yeah.
He just turned up, didn't he? He just turned up for a bit of a payday and then went, didn't he?
Doing Brucey a favour, wasn't it?
Yeah, Dwight York as well.
Yeah.
He scored a wonderful goal at Wolverhampton.
Against Wolves, yeah, and that 3-2.
Actually, do you know, we're talking about players like that, but Nicky Butt was he was atrocious when he was about.
And one, Alexander Kleb. Yeah, literally at Arsenal was running past people with us. He couldn't even.
No.
Trace the cold.
Do you remember the build up to the cup final and they interviewed Kleb, even though he's playing for us? They interviewed him and he did an interview for Arsenal TV wearing an Arsenal top the week before the cup final.
Doesn't surprise me. What about David Bentley as well?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say he was awful, but he was disappointing. He scored a wonderful goal in the cup tie.
Wednesday,
we didn't get. I mean, I think he was a good player, but not for us. He didn't do it. But we had a lot of people like that.
Yeah.
Remember those three wonderful midfield players that we signed? One was the Croatian Pele or something, and the other was the Australian McGee that. As soon as his loan was over, he cleared off to Middlesbrough.
Oh, yeah.
And these,
Framby Alba, or whatever his name was.
Balabla,
Yeah, they didn't really cut it either, did they?
San Jose and...
he was bad.
Yeah, but between what though, he's made up for it for support though, hasn't he?
He loves us, doesn't he?
I mean, he never played hardly in front of anybody, but
Constantly
he's definitely a Blues fan, isn't he? Come on.
Yeah, we'll forgive him for that.
He'll be one of the first people when, as and when promotion is secured, I bet he's one of the first people to tweet.
Yeah.
What about Adam Clayton in midfield? He
was awful, yeah.
Sidewards and back.
Well, Adam Clayton, a good example of what I'm talking about. These people come with a big reputation and don't just, the reason they had a good reputation, because at one stage they were 26, 27, 28, and we get them when they're 32, and the legs have gone, they just don't do it.
Yeah.
The same with the guy that Mowbray brought from Sunderland,
Pritchard.
Yeah.
Pritchard, he was 30. Yes, we've known him for years, good player. But by the time Sunderland have said, no, we've had enough of you, off you go, his legs have gone. And you never...
He was good against West Brom last year, though.
Yeah.
Good players are going to have good games now and then.
I've got to agree with Talisson Jones here, Gary O'Connor. He was a player who you didn't enjoy watching much, if I'm being honest.
No.
That's a good point. because I've heard you say that before, and I'm thinking I have 3 good memories of him: a goal against Sunderland, the goal against Wolves, which is the day my granddaughter was born, and there was another one. Oh, the one at Hull, the header when we won 1-0.
Yeah.
And I got to be honest, that's all I can really remember him about. Because
I think he scored at Arsenal as well for us.
He did. He put us in the lead. Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, his heart was in the right place and his work rate was there. He was a bit like Dykes, to be honest. I'd put him on it was a similar kind of player, to be honest.
Drug problem or something. Can't remember.
But the level that we were at, and the game time that he was getting in the Premier League when we were in there under McLeish was just frustrating the life out of me because he was way off that level. But in the Championship, he was all right.
But he had problems, didn't he?
He did, didn't he? Yeah. He would do a good interview.
Steve Sale has said Jesper Grønkjær. Smith. Isaac Vassell, sorry. Pritchard from Paul Sterndale was a waste of time. Michael Watson said Anders Limpar. Fraser Higgins has also said Muzzy is it, but that was because of his injuries.
Well, that's the same as Isaac Vassell, isn't it? With his injury. If he might have been unbelievable for us.
Oh, Michael Wood, I can't agree with that one. Walter Pandiano, I can't agree with that.
Oh, no, I liked him. I did.
No, I liked him.
Yeah,
I liked him. Yeah.
Mark Bent's a good shape. He was bad.
Yeah, he was terrible.
What about Darren Ambrose?
Another one. See, all these players have come from other clubs, and then they come into us, and they just don't happen.
Yeah, but we used to buy them or loan them near the end of their careers, or they'd had a dip, didn't we? Because we had no money. So a lot of these were when we didn't have a lot of money. We needed people, and unfortunately, when you're desperate, that's what happens.
Yeah, 100%. It could be a whole show, this subject, couldn't it, really?
Oh, God, yeah.
More worse ones than good ones. It's
frightening, really, to realise how many bad
it's
ones.
It's really uplifting, isn't it?
But you could discuss the good ones as well, though, in a whole show, I think.
Oh, no, for sure you could.
Can I just go back to an earlier question going to good players? Jay asked earlier, he wants to know about what were our thoughts on Steve Claridge. He was my dad's favourite player, for those of us that have seen him play.
Love Steve Claridge. And who knows, one day he might be a guest on Tilton Talk.
Ooh.
Nice, but he had everything, Steve Claridge, his work rate. He's, he wasn't rapid, but he got about quickly enough. And his finishing, the way he used to wear his socks and his shin pads.
Gruffiest footballer you'll ever see.
Yeah.
It's simple.
But he scored some fantastic goals, didn't he?
Gary Fry called him Compo, didn't they?
Yeah, he was a brilliant player, Steve Claridge. Really, really, really good player the last time we was in this division. And then went on, obviously, at Leicester to, get promoted with them and win the League Cup as well. And he scored the winner in the playoff final, didn't he, as well, against Crystal Palace, was it?
I think it was Palace.
Yeah.
I think.
Was it to manage Portsmouth as well, didn't they, a couple of times?
He did, yeah. Obviously, he'll have
played in Europe.
Claridge will have bad memories against us as well, which will be for Millwall when he played against us in the playoffs when Stern John got the winner.
Yeah.
Really good prolonged career, didn't he? I don't think he finished playing till he was about 38, 39, did he?
That's right.
Yeah, manager of Weymouth, wasn't he, with that journalist bloke?
Yeah.
Made TV programmes about him.
Yeah.
I saw that team play a couple of times. They were disgusting. They were. When you go to somewhere like Nuneaton and you're standing on the side of the pitch and you listen to what is being said, it was awful. You get a bit of bad language, but what was being said was, I'm going to break that effing so-and-so's leg if he don't do this and that, and then they'll be talking to each other in the same way. If you don't get your finger out, I'll stick one on you. It was horrible.
That's what you lot say to me.
Well, just going back to bad. Have we mentioned Mike Newell?
No.
Mike Newell.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's on Facebook.
We get them, don't we, when they're on the last paper round and they come to us. They're on very
good expression, Paul. Well done.
Yeah. They're on the 18th fairway, aren't they, when they come to us?
Yeah.
So, but Mike Newell, I remember him scoring a lovely goal at Sheffield United, and then that was it, wasn't it? He went.
Yeah.
And I think I think Granger told us before on the show, not last week, but the one before that Mike Newell, he'd never travel with the squad, would he? He would never get on the coach with the squad. He'd just meet them there in the car. He'd drive to the games and meet them there.
That's terrible, isn't it?
Weird, isn't it? Yeah.
It's awful.
Scary when you hear the lack of commitment from some players, really, though, isn't it? Were they thinking they were too big for our club, etc. at the time? But, you know what I mean? They got a payday, so they should still turn out no matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, should we go with predictions? So we've got 2 games, haven't we? We've got Leyton Orient at home tomorrow and then a big one on Saturday. Well, they're both big, but Wickham at home on Saturday. So I'll start us off. I think we'll win tomorrow. I think we will win tomorrow 1-0, and I think we will win 2-1 on Saturday. Claire?
I think we'll draw 1-1 tomorrow.
Okay.
And I think we'll win 2-1 on Saturday. I just think that Leyton Orient are in such a good run of form. I'm hoping we really do stop them in their tracks, but they
lost the weekend, though, against Bolton.
Yeah, but I mean, if you look at the form table, they've got 42 points and we've got 41. I think it'll be a tough game, and we've got to be bang at it tomorrow. If we play like we did at the weekend, but obviously we're at home as well, so we're unbeaten, so they've got to come to us.
Right.
I've got a funny feeling it might be 0-0 tomorrow. So 0-0 tomorrow, and I think we'll beat Wickham 2-1.
Okay. Mark Meredith?
I'm going to go 2-1 on both, I think, wins.
That'll do. Alan?
I think we'll win tomorrow for the 2-0. The reason being, Leyton Orient have been on a great run, and they lost that run on Saturday. Now, what you don't need after you've just lost that first game in 6 weeks is to turn up at Birmingham on a Tuesday night. You know, you're not going to get, not easily going to get back to your good form, are you? You're obviously down, and the last thing you want to do is face us. So that's why I think we'll beat them. I'm not so sure about Saturday. I think we should win, but because of the state of the squad, I think we won't. So I'll go 1-1 with that.
Okay, you coming up here Saturday?
I'm not. After the fiasco of the last time, I can't. I mean, I'll have to get a 6 o'clock train in the morning, and if anything goes wrong, I mean, that'll only get me there to the ground at 11:30, and if anything goes wrong, you know, it'll be after 12, and you can't get there by transport because it's just blocked. It's blocked from the town centre to the ground, so I've got to walk. It's at least half hour. So you know, if anything goes wrong, you know, so I'm gonna watch it at home, and save me money for perhaps for a midweek game where I have to stop in a hotel.
Yeah. Craig?
I'm going to go 1-0 tomorrow to Blues, and Wickham have got to come at us. This is the thing at the weekend. And I think even though we've got a depleted squad at the moment, that can still play into our favour. So I think we'll win 2-0 the weekend as well. I just think that they've got, as daft as it sounds, they've got more to lose than we have. So they have to come at us. And that, to me, any team that's come at us, that's when we've punished them.
Yeah.
1-0 tomorrow, 2-0 on Saturday.
That'll do. I think we'll see. I'm going to put my neck out now. I'm going to predict that we'll see Jay Stansfield in either of the 2 games. I think he'll be. Wouldn't be surprised at all if he's involved on Saturday. If he's not involved tomorrow. But yeah,
I think he'll be too quick tomorrow. It will only be a week.
Yeah.
I think with his leg.
Yeah, I'll be shocked if he comes.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I can see Saturday or the following Tuesday at Bolton.
Yeah. Hopefully, anyway. But yeah, Chris.
Yeah, I'm going to go for the 1-0 win tomorrow.
Okay.
And I'll stick my neck out for a 2-0 win against Wickham.
Okay. Yeah. That'll do us. 2 clean sheets, 3 goals. Happy days, and that'll put us even clearer then, won't it?
Oh God, yeah.
And we'll still have a game in hand, won't we, as well, on Wickham?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, or would it be 2 games in hand?
Well, are they playing tomorrow?
No, it's just us that play tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Have a game. It'll be down to 1 after tomorrow.
Yeah, Huddersfield play tomorrow. That's about it.
Who've Huddersfield got tomorrow?
They've got Wigan away. We're not on TV either.
No.
Tomorrow?
It's because it was.
We're not on Sky.
We're on Blues TV. We just because it was a game in. Didn't put it on the
yeah, because it was a sadly rearranged game, wasn't it? So
yeah, I better put my foot down then tomorrow. I'm in Hayes. I'm in Hayes in our office in Hayes all day. So when I say all day, I'm hoping to be away for no later than 3:30. But what I might have to do is go straight to St Andrews from London.
Well, Orient will have to go for it because Reading have got 50, Bolton 53, Charlton 53, Orient 53, Huddersfield 55. So they're going to have to come at us if they want playoffs. So 2 good games.
The weekend, the league is daft because when you take arguably the top 3 out of it, the rest of it, it's really like 10 teams all within a shout of the final 3 spots in the playoffs. So it's going to make an interesting ending to the season.
Yeah. To be honest, though, I don't really look beyond top 3. I haven't really studied it, you know what I mean? Like, it's weird.
It's only because I was having a look and see us playing tomorrow.
Chris, what's Pete Taylor asking me? He's asking me about something, about a striker or something. What's he said? Who was a striker we had a few years back? Birmingham fan, never scored for us. Oh, that's James Vaughan.
James Vaughan. He missed a penalty, didn't he?
Oh, God, yeah. Do you remember that?
Against Bournemouth.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go, Pete. That puts you out your misery.
He left us and scored about 5 goals in the first 6 games for whoever he went to.
Yeah.
David Dunn, the one, when he was absolutely fantastic.
David Dunn, yeah.
Pitch.
David Dunn, yeah.
But then, he was always injured. He was always out a lot. But then he went to Blackburn after us, back to Blackburn, and he must have played over 150 games.
Yep.
Yeah.
I never understood that one.
Aye.
It's called Loser's Limp. Get me back fixed by Birmingham and then I'll bugger off.
Yeah.
What's it called? Loser's Limp?
Loser's Limp, yeah.
Oh,
every time you lose, you start limping, don't play the next game.
So don't say that after a few sherbets, Mark.
What's that? Brewers, what?
Is that full time, Chris?
That's full time.
So thank you everyone for watching as usual. Please subscribe on our YouTube channel as well. We've been the Tilton Talk Show. It's good night from me, Paul Hipkiss, and it's good night from Mark Meredith over in the States.
Good night from me, and it's a good night from Mr. Robe tonight.
Yay! Cheers, Mark. I'm buzzing now because Mark chose me. It's good night. It's good night from me, and then I'm going to pass on to Craig.
Him.
It's a good night from me, and it's a enjoy Obafemi Day on Thursday, and also Liv is 13 on Thursday, so I can never forget the day. So happy birthday to Olivia for Thursday as well. And I'll pass on to the one and only Claire Giblin.
I nearly forgot what I was going to say then. I've done a robe. Happy birthday, Liv. Looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. And thank you all for watching. And I'm passing you on to the chairman.
Thank you. Got nothing much to say, really. Good night. God bless. Look forward to tomorrow.
And last but not least.
Wow, I
thought it was going to be 3 weeks on the trot. People forgot me.
Here he is. The man himself.
Yeah. Good night, everybody. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you again next week.
Big robot.
I'm dying for.
Is that vodka in the bottle?
No. It's not falling down, juice.
That's what.
Where's your flag, Rob? Show us your flag, Rob.
Oh, my flag. Yeah. Seeing as you have for it.
The claret flag. It's claret.
It's not. It's just faded. It's vintage.
I've just thought that's what KRO stands for. Keep robe on.
Keep robe on.
Yeah. This, I can't remember where I got this from, to be fair.
Is that flag older than Claire?
Probably from
Wembley. 95. It's official though, because it's got He's got a Bo Brummie thing.
Oh, yes.
He got it from the store.
No, he didn't. He stole it from the store.
Oh yeah, you got a new shirt behind you as well, Rob.
No, it's just I just chose that. I'm a simple man with simple taste.
Definitely simple man, yes.
He's keeping the shirt warm with his scarf. Look, I mean, anybody would have thought that he's thinking he's a Birmingham fan.
Must be cold out.
So what do you do? Set that up behind you before we go on live then.
No comment.
100% he puts it, and I bet you he sits there for ages working out the angle.
Yeah, of course he does.
Where's your blanket gone with the robe on the bottom of it?
Oh, that. It's around somewhere.
And your cushion and your t-shirt always blues.
He had to hand them back to the police. They're now in their control. They've been locked up in the theft area.
I've been starting a pair of sunglasses for some reason.
Now we know why he's been smiling.
No, it's in. It's here. Don't worry. Yeah, there it is.
There it is.
I reckon he's got his secret stash of blue stuff.
No,
absolutely.
No.
Amber off.
Right then, I'll go before I wet myself.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. See you later, guys.
See you all.
Tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Happy birthday.
All the best.
Right then, bye everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
We're BetMGM Sports and Casino. We know things aren't always golden. That's why we offer you the tools to keep your place safe. Set timeouts to always ensure you take a break when you feel like you need it. Set reality checks so you know exactly how long you've been playing. And set deposit limits to help control what you spend. Stay golden with BetMGM. Play responsibly.
18 plus.
This message comes from Greenlight. Ready to start talking to your kids about financial literacy? Meet Greenlight, the debit card and money app that teaches kids and teens how to earn, save, spend wisely, and invest with your guardrails in place. With Greenlight, you can send money to kids quickly, set up chores, automate allowance, and keep an eye on your kids' spending with real-time notifications. Join millions of parents and kids building healthy financial habits together on Greenlight. Get started risk-free at greenlight.com/listen. greenlight.com/listen.
This podcast is proud to be part of the TalkSport Fan Network. TalkSport. Powered by fans.